up Tucson, Arizona. We're back from the dead. Or I should say, I'm back from the dead. Uh, I want to say that I'm so happy to be back. We're happy to be back. But anyway, we're back on the air. So it seems like we had never had left almost. If you've been watching Call Me Crazy in the television and the R2D2 Sith Music Collector Sith Show, aka RPG production show. But anyways, I'm happy to be back. From here on out, I want to treat every episode as if it's my last one. So I had said in my final episode, my farewell episode, that I was going to come back, if we were to come back on the air and get a stay of execution, I would change the name of my show. And I had decided that the new name of the Call Me Crazy show is called The Call Me Crazy Show. I ain't changing it for nothing, guys. Because I don't want to pretend that we were off the air for a month. But before I go off on the subject of being on TV, we all know now that we've been under for almost, let's say how many months, 4.5 months, 5 months under Barack Obama presidential administration. But am I crazy or am I crazy? Around town, I have noticed there's a lot more blue commercial signs coming up. I don't know if me and the television had told me something like that quite a few months ago, and I said, yeah, I had noticed. But this week, as I was driving around town, I really noticed a lot more blue signs, commercial signs around town. And you know what that means? The blues, it's the Democratic blue, Democratic Party color, whereas the Republican Party color is red. And then not only that, I had noticed some of the sporting events I was watching on TV, that the billboards, consumer billboard that they have for, I saw for NBA and NASCAR, they're also blue. So what reminds me, and it comes down to this, is it because now that we have a new Democratic president, that the people and the country feel like, okay, well, we're going to go with blue sign. But I'd rather have been blue all along, because then if it's red, it kind of reminds me of the dark times when George W. Bush was president. And then on top of that, it seems like we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel for the U.S. So I want to say Barack Obama doing a great job, and it seems like everybody's wearing that blue. So that's one subject that's out of the way. But the second subject I wanted to talk about is for the past 11 years, I have been ranting and raving and screaming and yelling and cussing and swearing, and I have been absolutely, I have been a lunatic. I have done so many things on the show, and the purpose of the show was to provide you with information that you would not otherwise get from another TV show. And as the years went on, every season had a different angle to it. Whereas the first years of Call Me Crazy, we had the infamous Urban Sprawl edition. For a while there, that was a hot topic. Urban Sprawl back in the late 90s. And sure enough, it's everywhere now. It's so everywhere now that we take it for granted. Now when we see new buildings going up, it's new buildings. Never mind the fact that they're, what the word I'm looking for, where eventually they say in the future that we have built so many buildings, for instance, that by the time 50 years from now they had said, and I have read, that in 50 years from now that we would have built so many buildings from here to Phoenix that Phoenix and Tucson become a mega metropolis because there are so many buildings that in between Phoenix and Tucson in the future. And I remember seeing that back on an 80s documentary. And lately, the last time we were down the highway going down to Phoenix, going down to Coachella as a matter of fact, was the fact that there's a lot more buildings between Tucson and Phoenix. Which begs the question, if Tucson and Phoenix does ever become a megatropolis, what is the new name then? So, and here's another thing too. This week also, I had saw an ABC special called Earth 2100, and it was a would-be scenario of what happened from the year 2009 and all the year prior to 2100, which means that we're going from 2009 to 2012 to 2018, and some of the worst case scenarios do come true. As a matter of fact, by the year 2080, if the conditions that we live in the world right now do not change, the conditions of the world then is going to be so catastrophic. And I saw that the human population will get buckled under its own weight. And I was thinking, great, now Terminator Salvation is a real thing. Get to think back, maybe in the future they're going to say, you know what, those freaking idiots in the 21st century had no clue that Terminator movies were really messages of some cyborg trying to tell us about the freaking world. But that's not the case. And on the subject of Terminator, I've been reading and hearing and seeing a lot of bad reviews about Terminator, which makes me sad because it should be the kind of movie that expands your brain, and apparently it's not. I can't really say anything. I hope it's not a horrible movie. I have yet to see it. But David Hernandez. What up, David Hernandez? Apparently Star Trek has been doing much better. Not only commercially better at the box office, correct? But also I heard it's a better movie. You know, Star Trek, they're doing a reboot of Star Trek. And for all you people out there in La La Land who don't know what a reboot is, it means basically trying to get a movie, an old movie franchise, a new look, a new substance. For instance, the perfect reboot will be the Batman franchise. But on the subject of franchise, they killed the Scream franchise. By Scream 3, it was kind of ridiculous, huh? Yeah. Not as good as the first one. And my thing about these sequels that keep coming out, for a perfect example, The Fast and the Furious 4 came out earlier this year. Not a great movie, but not an awful movie either. It's a normal summer movie. But the point is that 8 years after the fact, none of the celebrities that were in the first one were ever in the 1, part 2, or 3, and then all of a sudden they decided to do 4. And that just goes to show that the rules of Hollywood have changed with movies. And at this point, should I really be caring about the rules of Hollywood at this moment? No, and yeah. No, because I have other bigger things to worry about. And yeah, I need other things to take my bigger worries and concern off. But I'm treating this like it's my last show, so I'll be doing a confessional every Call Me Crazy episode from here on out. I want to just say that I'm grateful for you viewers out there, because you guys don't know how lucky you guys are that you guys get to have me again. But for instance, I know for a fact that Robert Gonzalez out in North and South Dakota will be very happy and pleased to know that we're going back on the air. And one thing that bugs me about being back in the air now is we don't know how long they'll be open for, For all we know, the joke's on us, and we're not going to be on the air next year at this time. So we might have 12 episodes left. We might have 100 episodes left. For all we know, we might get maybe. What if we were to be the last public access station in the country? What if we had that distinction finally? Maybe like 10 more years from now, they're like, you know what? You guys have the last public access television station that's on the air. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tucson has that title after a while. Because for all I know, big cities don't have public access anymore. And if they do, I don't know. I often wondered how a New York City public access channel was like. It's like I can only imagine with their studios. New York City public access studios in the '80s. Wow, that's where if I could go back in a time machine, that's what I would do. Go back in the '80s to New York City, or better yet, Los Angeles public access TV channel back then. Because remember, folks, back in the early '80s here in town, there was some very weird shit on that public access stuff early on. I'm not saying that there's no weird shit now. I'm just saying there was a lot more weird shit then. But back in the '80s, when we had public access, we were VCR obsessed in the '80s. We didn't have like the Xbox and the what do you call it, the PlayStation 3. We didn't have the iPods or any of that. So in the '80s, when we got tired of watching the local channel, we would watch public access TV. And I remember once there was this one. I don't know if it was like a high school or college play, but it was one of the worst plays I ever saw in my entire life. But at the time, I must have been 10, 11, 12 years old watching it. And I remember thinking that the set design was built better than what the acting was. And that's when I remember public access is cool. Who does the stage sets? Fast forward to the future. Now it's 1988, and apparently I signed up a class called Stagecraft. And apparently it teaches you how to build set design. It really didn't. Might have a little. But, yeah, high school sucked. That's a confessional on Call Me Crazy. There's another thing I wanted to do. I wanted to, I told myself that I would have a creative, segment on here. So here goes, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna wait off in 2 minutes.
No, keep going.
Okay. Alright, okay, here we go. So there's gonna be a new segment on the Call Me Crazy show. I know this sounds silly, it might sound stupid, it might sound chaotic, but here on out, every Call Me Crazy show until the end is going to feature at least one poem I've written, and I make an oath. As Call Me Crazy talk show host in front of End of Television, from here on out, every Call Me Crazy show, whether I write the poem on or before the filming and taping of Call Me Crazy, I will have a poem. Guaranteed? Yay? Okay, you heard it first. So I'm going to be doing a poem every episode. Okay, here goes. First one is called Addiction, Part 1. Bored, restless, an event extended again, tired, remorse, never the same endless game, death is my name, staring to space, not ahead in the race, can't rest, cannot feel, Darkness weeps to me and I sink to the deep. Addiction, Part 2. Feeling a hammer of pressure. The powders are getting louder. Our faces a blur. No prayers, not fair. Words keep lying and numbers keep dying. No day is the same. Watch for the serpent who laughs and slays. Alrighty, so that was a Call Me Crazy poem, Addiction Part 1 and Addiction Part 2. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is I had told the end of television earlier on this week that I want to be the Dr. Phil now. I want to be Dr. Phil because I have had a what is the word I'm looking for? I had gone through some life-altering moments in my life. So I want to be able to share with you guys, because you guys are what keep me going, and I missed you guys. I felt so sad that when I did that last episode, I could cry for 10 hours. I was like that girl in Crybaby. I was like, "Ooh," and she's holding that glass jar, and she's having those tears, and she drinks it. I was like that. I was just having a BS. That was horrible. But now Marty came to my house. He came to my house up in Vail and said, "Dude, we're going back on the air." So I was like, my ass is going back into town. For a while there, I was like, "Do I have to say goodbye to Tucson?" I was like, no, but my horses need tending now, so I need to go. Apparently, I gotta get up at daybreak. I gotta feed cattle because I'm tired. But anyways, I'm glad to be back. This is Call Me Crazy, episode 2 something something something. Episode 213. And the name of it's Call Me Crazy now. Before it was Call Me Crazy 2012, I believe. I don't remember. 2009? Call Me Crazy 2009? Okay, well, the new Call Me Crazy is going to be called Call Me Crazy 2080. Didn't we use 2099 before? Okay, we're not going to go that far in the future. We're going to go 18, 19 years in the future before that. So we're going to go back in time. We're going to go Call Me Crazy 2080, and that's going to be the purpose of the show. We're going to figure out what 2080 holds for us. Bye, bye, bye. What up, guys? Like I said, we're not off the air. Call Me Crazy back with a vengeance. It's like it should be the Call Me Crazy Strikes Back. I had said earlier I wanted to be Dr. Phil of Tucson Public Access, but also Abby Hoffman, and also Timothy Leary, all rolled into one. But anyways, if you're out there right now and you're suffering from addiction, which is a horrible thing, I should know because I'm one of them. But if you're thinking about doing that line of coke, drinking that pint of whiskey, slamming that needle in your vein of heroin, or smoking a bogey, think about the consequences. Learn from my mistakes. Apparently, you can still be 99 years old and still be not considered a grown-up. So you take care of yourself out there, people. I'll be back. And like I said, if you're struggling with the addiction and you feel like there's nobody out there, well, just think, well, maybe Call Me Crazy is going through the same thing. I admit it, I don't give a fuck if I let people out there in TV La La Land know, because the way I see it, if the first 10 years of Call Me Crazy were me inebriated on God knows what, and so be it. So I'm glad to be back. I have a I have always had purpose in my life, and but now that I know we're coming back into the year, I have a newfound purpose in my life. Is to make Tucson feel better about themselves. I know that's fucking stupid, but people say, oh, well, one person can't make a difference. Well, bullshit, maybe I can. If I can get made that someone who's watching my show, not tonight, whenever, they feel like they have the urge to go postal, maybe call me crazy and can calm them down and say, you know what, it's okay to be crazy, but think out those thoughts in your head, guys. Don't be like the infamous trench coat mafia back in the high school in Columbine. But anyways, keep your head up. If you think there's no light at the end of the tunnel, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. If you hit rock bottom, you can always go back up. So no matter what stage in your life you're at, right there out there on TV, La La Land, it doesn't matter because tomorrow's a whole new day, and just gotta take it day by day. And the reason I'm doing this because, like I said, I don't know if this is gonna be the last show. I'm gonna pretend it's the last show until hopefully never the end. But I'm being realistic. And talking about show, all this week it was the first ever premiere of Conan O'Brien on the Tonight Show. So it seemed like a perfect mix. It seemed like a new era. I'm really going to be trying to be more thoughtful. I'm coming crazy, yeah, right. But I will tell like how it is. But I want to make you feel like there's someone on your side, folks. And if you feel like there's nobody on your side, call me crazy is on your side. Because I remember in the beginning of my life, I had no one on my side. And look at me now. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here kind of person. Yeah, right. The way I see it, if it would have been great, it would have got me and Marty up on End of Television on the ABC show. I have never seen it, but people love it, I guess. My brother loves it. But it's called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. If I was to be on that show, I was like, I'm a celebrity, I'm not going nowhere. You know what I mean? I'll be like, now, man, this is Tucson celebrity bullshit right here. I'd be like, we rule this island, man. But what else is there to talk about? And you know what? And the only sad thing about George W. Bush leaving Oval Office is that there's no more fucking jokes about. I can't read. There's no more anger. I don't feel no more anger right now towards Big Brother right now. There's nothing to be really angry about. You know, he's little by little he's pulling the troops out of Iraq. You know, he's dealing with the situation in North Korea. He appointed a Hispanic lady to the highest court in the land, which is the Supreme Court, first time ever. So he's doing a lot of good decisions. Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, she's up and about, racking up miles, visiting so many countries, in effect trying to, what's the word I'm looking for, rejuvenate old ties, soothe old wounds that the Bush administration had done on the international community. But yeah, it seems like we're headed in the right direction. Sure, it seems like there's a lot more jobs being lost in the economy, and the price of gas is going up. It could be worse. It could be like how it was 2 years ago. Remember, we were paying almost $4 a gallon. You know, hopefully it don't get like that again this year. We haven't hit $3, which is, I guess, a good thing. And that's about it, guys. I'm out of here. Today officially is Friday morning, 1 in the morning. Correct? It's Friday morning. It's 1 in the morning. And I gotta get up in 30 minutes. You know why? Because I'm filming a movie with David Carradine in Bangkok. No, rest in peace, David Carradine. If you guys don't know by now, uh, I'll say it. He was jerking off and trying to hang himself at the same time, but not trying to kill himself. Get to jerk off. But anyway, like someone close to me has said, hey, if you can be 72 years old and try to hang yourself as a sexual fetish and jerk off, then the more power to you. So in my book, David Carradine rules. Go autoerotica. Go autoerotica. What up, Tucson, Arizona? This is the Call Me Crazy Show, episode 213. And I had told myself if we were going to be canceled for good off the air, that I would treat every show like it's my last show. So, anyways, here I am. So I'm glad you're back. I'm glad to be back now. Today is. Let's see what today is. Today is Saturday, 9:30, and two things I want to talk about is that I am so happy to know that we're not going to be getting off the air forever. We'll be back July 1st. By the time you see this, it's been already July past. So we'll have several weeks to get some shows and things ready. And I'm not promising anything, but if I'm going to be coming back with a vengeance, if I'm going to be what's the word I'm looking for, coming back at you harder than anything before, then the point is that we'll get better at it. And I hope you liked last week the poems I did, or not last week, this week's. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day. I have been up since 3 in the morning. My flight got in from Rome, and I didn't have no time to unpack. But the last thing I want to tell you is that Rome is great. I can't talk too much about Rome because apparently the government won't let me talk about it because I work under special provisions under the U.S. and Italian government. But anyway, I'm not getting back. Okay, what I'm doing, guys, I'm doing the same thing what Adam Sandler did. And what the hell is the name of that movie? 50 First Dates. Anyways, on the subject of 50 First Date, Rob Schneider's in that film. And I don't know about you guys out there in La La Land, but I love Rob Schneider, and apparently, in the television as a gift to another fellow producer had given a DVD copy of Men Behaving Badly, which had Rob Schneider in there. I never did get to see in the late '90s. Apparently, he was on for 2 years, but my buddy, we all know who he is, Chris. He swears by the shows only because Rob Schneider's on them, but I have to agree though. Rob Schneider is a very talented comic movie star. He'll never be a dramatic actor if he chooses not to. But anyways, we were comparing movies at what he's done, and if you have never seen 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, then I suggest that you watch it only for Rob Schneider because he is great in that film. Other notable films that Rob Schneider's been in that are hilarious and I think greatly funny are the Deuce Bigalow movie, Part 1, and European Gigolo, Part 2. I think Part 2 is the far superior movie than Deuce Bigelow Part 1. Once again, Rob Schneider shines on through, but he's great, and I think that's his best movie ever. Is Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo Part 2. I know that's not the correct title, but we all know what movie we're talking about. Another movie I wanted to talk about that Rob Schneider was in that is very underrated, but then again, a lot of people think he's an underrated comic actor. He was in a movie called The Animal. Very, very funny. And then he was in another one called, I keep forgetting the name of it. It'll come back to me in a little while. But Rob Schneider's hilarious. He ain't no, what I'm going to say, Will Ferrell, but then again, nobody is Will Ferrell. Which comes to the point of Land of the Lost. When I was a kid on Saturday morning, I remember thinking Land of the Lost was like the greatest Saturday morning cartoon. And even though it's not a cartoon, it was injected in between cartoons on the Saturday morning in the late 70s. Mid to late 70s, which unfortunately I remember because I'm a product of the 40s. But anyways, Land of the Lost movie came out with Will Ferrell. And from what I've seen, it seems kind of funny. But then again, that's the whole idea of these new trailers that come out and commercials for the movie. They tend to show pretty much all the laughs that are in the movie. And by the time you end up seeing the movie, all the funny stuff you thought was going to be in the movie, you had already seen in the preview. So hopefully Land of the Lost doesn't suffer from that. But Will Ferrell, once again, he's in a movie for the year. But I think he's great. He tends to make me laugh in every movie. Anchorman, he's great. But I think the Talladega Nights, he's good. But I think his greatest film... that's a hard one. I don't know. Old School, maybe? I don't know, guys. You guys can help me on that. And the second movie that Will Ferrell's been in that's pretty funny is Night of the Roxbury. That's like a pre-superstar Will Ferrell day. Anyway, this week was the first week that Conan O'Brien has been doing the Tonight Show, which is pretty interesting because I remember when Jay Leno took over for Johnny Carson back in 92. And I remember thinking, let's see how long Jay Leno lasts. Because I remember watching Johnny Carson's show back with my parents when I was a kid. And at the time I didn't find anything funny because I was just a kid. But as time grew on, by the beginning of high school and the ending of high school, Johnny Carson was slipping out, and Jay Leno was coming in. And now we have Conan O'Brien, who I think is doing a great job. He's a little rusty, it seems like, only because he's not familiar with California. But then again, if somebody to say, hey, call me crazy, how about we send you to California to make a show every day for the rest of your life, I'll be like, okay. So I would be nervous the first week also. And what's even better, Conan O'Brien got to have Will Ferrell on the first show. And what kills me, the first band that Conan got to introduce ever as a Tonight Show host was one of the greatest bands, I think, of all time, Pearl Jam. But anyways, I saw that historic first show, and it's great that Pearl Jam was on there, which leads me to Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam now are going to be 20 years old pretty soon, I think in 2 more years. 20 years. And here's the thing, guys. I remember back in the day buying the 10 album, only because the song Jeremy was on it back then, and Alive. And I'll say it then. Back in those days when I was buying the 10 album by Pearl Jam, I was dabbling in. Can I say this? I was dabbling in psychedelics. I was a kid of the early. I was a product of the late '80s, early '90s. So when 10 came out, and especially that song "Alive" was introduced at the first Pearl Jam album, first Pearl Jam video, I think, ever. I'm not sure, but at the time when that had came out, one of the first few times one of the first times I had taken hallucinogenics, I happened to come across "Alive" by Pearl Jam, and my world has not been the same since. You didn't drink? Hey, you didn't drink no Natural Life though? Milwaukee Beef?
I'm so cold fucking sober, bro. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, well, that's good though. That's even better. Being in Milwaukee and not even drinking.
Hey, is that Phil rolling?
Yep.
Yeah, you're on the air, Robert.
Holy shit. Hey, I just want to say, fucking goddamn Tucson and the world, that it's good to be back on the air. Now, this is going to be the start for me. Get ready for a whole fucking new year. This is the year 2009, and we got a whole fucking, I'll probably, as far as the world's probably concerned, they're probably saying, yeah, right, he's probably fucking going to do the same shit. More than likely, I am, but who cares anyways, right, guys? Yo. Okay, so I think I cut off there. Oh, yeah, so anyways, fucking, so, I don't know how, do I keep on talking here, or what the hell?
Yeah.
Am I talking to the world still?
Yep.
Okay, so, well, listen to this damn story. So, I went to Milwaukee. Now, I only fucking, when I told my buddy, I said, look, this fucking race is going to be in fucking, this is the IRL race, IndyCar fucking races. Now, it was going to be in Indianapolis, and I said, well, I'm this close. Maybe there's a chance I can get to Indianapolis. It was the only way I was going to do it was to go to Milwaukee. So, I did it. $5 got me fucking there and back, and I fucking successfully got autographs, saw the race, and it was fucking awesome, dude. Any more information on that fucking story, you guys gotta write to me.
Hey, alright, well, that was Robert Gonzalez. Call me crazy, we'll be back in a little while. Bye-bye. Say bye, Robert.
Peace, people. Write to the fucking TV shows. Keep on watching the shows. We're here every fucking day, every other week, whatever the fuck. Just turn on TV shows. We're there. And we want to say, welcome. I love you guys. Peace.
What's up, Tucson, Arizona? This is the Call Me Crazy show. It is almost 11 o'clock Friday night, June 26th. If you're watching this means that you're still watching the first show since we came back, correct? So basically, I'm continuing what Call Me Crazy is all about. But there's a couple things I wanted to talk about that Call Me Crazy was never real big into, and that is and I know I'm a moron for saying this, but I never was really an environmental activist on the Call Me Crazy show. You know, I wasn't like Al Gore or Prince Charles or Leonardo DiCaprio for that matter. You know how they have those names, very derogatory names, tree huggers. Or like the words of a big fat idiot, environmental wackos. Who, by the way, that big fat idiot is Rush, dumb fucking lard ass, Limbaugh. But so I decided that today I was gonna do some tidbits about global warming. I know Call Me Crazy has never been big on telling you guys about global warming because I was ignorant also. I was very ignorant. But recently, a couple weeks ago, there was this program on ABC, a special what if kind of scenarios. would happen when the global warming get to an extreme level. But anyways, before we get into that, I just want to give out some factoids. And this is all about the environment now, alright? So, bear with me on this. I know, it feels like it's like I'm tipsy, but believe it or not, guys, I am not. I get been up for 48 hours. But here we go. 1.2 billion people around the world do not have access to clean water. At any given moment in the world, there's 1.2 billion people who do not have clean water. So for all the times that we flush the toilet and dump that glass of water down the drain, to think at this point in time that there's 1.2 billion people who do not have access to clean drinking water. So I want to thank the good old USA, greatest country in the world. Happy 4th of July coming up. But thank you, USA, for the clean water that we drink out of the faucet. And here's the thing that I found very interesting. Many social scientists predict that the next big world wars will be over water. So didn't I say that years ago? If I'm correct, I believe I said there was going to be war over water anyway. And you heard it first and called me crazy, but now it's in the official pantheon of words out there in the, what's the word I'm looking for, intellectual property realm. But anyways, scientists predict that the next world war will be over water. So Mad Max was right all along. Don't they fight over water in Mad Max? They do, right? Well, Mel Gibson, whatever it is that you're thinking about, thank you for bringing global warming a part of your movie. But to think that maybe 100 years from now here in Tucson, the water situation, which is going to get worse, I read, and people believe that's going to really happen. I would hate to imagine that Tucson will be under like looking like pretty much like Terminator, the end of the world kind of Judgment Day thing. So I thought that I'd tell you guys about that the inevitable future is going to be war over water. Okay, alrighty. Okay, I thought this was an urban legend, but it's not. Putting on deodorant, okay, but stay away from antiperspirants. They zap you with aluminum or equally neurotoxic compound in the aluminum family. So it really is true about the fact that some deodorants get the antiperspirants do give you aluminum. But that's alright, we smoke cigarettes anyways. Okay, and how about this for a thing that I didn't believe, I just read it. The first cell phone call was made on April 3rd, 19... Can anybody guess the year? Okay, how about that? The first cell phone was made on April 3rd, 19... If I told you the year that the first cell phone was aired out, you would not believe me, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Here goes. The first cell phone call was made on April 3rd, 1973. How about that? How about those apples? And now, as of 2009, there are more than 200 million cell phone users in the country. And so we have 300 million people in the U.S. So that means 2/3 of the population that has cell phones. Okay, how about Americans consume paper at an annual rate of 740 pounds per year. So as an American, you're responsible for almost 740 pounds of paper a year that you help generate. Okay, and then the worldly intake for paper every year the planet Earth and the inhabitants consume 300 million tons of paper. That's incredible. And then when you have a cup of coffee, that one cup of coffee that you have, apparently it is 1 out of 500 billion cups of coffee that are drank every year. A fifth of those 500 billion coffees are drunk in the U.S. alone. For every two $50 cup of coffee sold at a yuppie hangout, the grower of the coffee bean, of the actual coffee that goes in the cup, gets less than a penny. Oh, that's sickening, guys. Okay, how about this? Do you take your coffee with sugar? Sure enough, the average American, and I'm guilty, I'm just as guilty because I'm a candy junkie. I love chocolate. But the average American consumes 110 pounds of sugar each year. So I guess the Call Me Crazy show is responsible for 110 pounds of sugar. And we all know what sugar goes in. Sugar is in everything that we eat, just about. Everything from bacon to vegetable juice. Alright, thank you very much. Okay, and then a single styrofoam cup. We all know what those are. Styrofoam cups are that kind of non-biodegradable material. But here's the thing, it takes several hundred years for it to degrade. So there's really no point in that. In the U.S. alone, there are 241,193,974 cars in USA. Every gallon of gas that you burn puts 20 pounds of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Okay, how about this tea? Everything in your office is an excrement of oil. Your keyboard, your mouse, the copy machine, the coffee and copy machine. So basically everything in the office that you work at, none of it will be possible without the main ingredient, which is oil. You log on and you download your email, your computer screen, like the TV screen at home, contains thousands and thousands of toxic chemicals, lead being the worst. All electronics have it. As for your printer, it will be easy to make one that could last for decades, which is possible. But that would be suicide for the printing industry, because there will be no point in buying a printer if the printer lasts for 100 years. Imagine buying a computer printer that would last you 100 years. You will never have to buy a computer printer ever again. But companies choose not to make them so they can keep selling the same product to you over and over again. Okay, and then also about the food. And here's the thing, fish is supposed to be the healthiest, but most fish that we humans consume are contaminated with mercury released by power plants and industrial factories. In adult, mercury is in sufficient quantity can cause memory loss, baldness, blindness, and infertility. In unborn baby, it has been linked to cerebral palsy, deafness, blindness, mental retardation, shortened attention span, and learning and developmental disability. Blah. The most mercury-loaded fish are shark, orange roughy, marlin, and albacore tuna, which means that all fresh, frozen, and canned tuna have mercury in them. But this is about the planet's health, not yours. Huge. Oh, okay, bye-bye. I'll be back in a little bit. But this is about the planet's health, not ours. Huge factory trawlers are hovering upon fish, then processing them and canning them even before returning them to port. Gigantic nets are dipping all the way to the benthic zone a mile down in the seas and hauling up marine life that has never been identified, then grinding it into commercial dog food. Americans are the most insatiable beef consumers in the world. We Americans eat 7.6, almost 7 billion burgers a year. So, okay, there's 301 million Americans in this country, and we eat almost 7 billion burgers a year. That's a lot of cows we're eating. But that's okay, because I'm a burger lover too. Worldwide, 2.7 million tons of plastic are used to make water bottles. Okay, and here's the one thing I often wonder. We all know it. I do. In my house, we have a cupboard where we keep plastic bags from Fry's and Walmart and Costco and Walgreens, and it's endless. So many stores give those out. But here's an astounding number that gets freaking threw me off. All those the plastic shopping bags that we all go through from Circle K, we go through, get this. In the U.S. alone, we go through 380 billion bags of those things a year. And the average lifespan of each bag is 25 minutes. So that plastic bag that you get, say you go to Circle K, you buy that blunt rolling paper, or you go to one of those a head shop, you buy a bong or whatever it is, or you go to Fascination and buy a sex toy, and they put in that plastic bag. That lifespan of that plastic bag is 25 minutes. So you'll come home with that, aka vibrator, drug, aka beer. Then when you grab that bag, the first thing I do, I put it in my drawer in the kitchen, and if anything, it'll probably be there for years. Cause I have a whole drawer full of them, and it seems like it never goes away. So it seems like 380 billion of the throwaway bags are used in the country alone. That's a staggering number, folks. Okay, and to wrap it all up is thank you very much to the periodicals I read. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that sooner or later an economy based on more and more consumption is going to collide with the reality that the earth has only so many raw materials to offer. Okay, and here's the sad note. We all know polar bear. It's official. They said in 40 years there is not going to be a single polar bear left in the whole world except in private sanctuary and public zoos around the world. And that is sad. And I know that we've known about it for some quite time, but you know, they say the global warming is going to cause the ocean to rise, and it's already happening, folks. They also said that certain glaciers off of the coast of Peru, two of the biggest glaciers of the southern hemisphere have now disappeared. So I just thought it would be a good time now to call me crazy and jump on the green wagon. I know you know those big old blue tubs that sit outside your apartment door, your house, you recycle. Ever since we got that, they implemented that not too long ago, like I think 8 years ago. But we do our part in putting cardboard boxes and cans in there. I do not have kids, but I hate to think about the kids I would have be out up and about dressing up like Mad Max and John Connor, and they're fighting over water. You know what I mean? But that's a. I'm not saying it's a cool idea, but it merits a lot of attention, because that's what I've been trying to say for the longest time, is that eventually violence is going to be over water, wars are going to be over the water. So it's good to know that I was right in the scientific circles and academia, if you will. I know I'm a moron, but hey guys, it is 11:15, June 26th. I have a long drive back to Vail. And before I go, I think you might be seeing a little bit more of me later on. Not tonight. Not here. I got it somewhere else. But anyways, I'm out of here. And by the way, I just saw earlier Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 Blu-ray here at an undisclosed location. But all I gotta say, Francis Ford Coppola, you fucking rock. I'm out. Alrighty, I'm back. Okay, well, this was my comeback episode, if you will. I'm so glad to be back. Thank you, Tucson, Arizona, and TCCC and In the Television for keeping the dream of Call Me Crazy alive. But the new title of the Call Me Crazy show, it is called The Call Me Crazy Show. But anyways, next time you see Call Me Crazy, like I said, it's gonna be more original stuff. Believe it or not, guys, I am 69 years old, and yesterday I was watching Ellen when a special breaking news report came on about a singer who had cardiac arrest. But anyways, it was a shocking death. I do not remember the guy's name. I remember he had this one video where he turned into a werewolf, and then I remember he had this other song where he was talking about looking at himself in the mirror and saying things about you can change, and I remember he used to sing a song about a lady named Diana and called her dirty. I remember that, and I remember too that and come to think of it, he was very off the wall. He really was. But see, that's what happens, guys, when you put yourself in a oxygen chamber for every day for an hour for the whole life. All those countless surgeries that he had makes you wonder. And remember, he was also a pill addict, right? I remember he was addicted to some painkillers, I believe, in the 90s. And then we also know that there was always controversy. But all I gotta say, rest in peace, Farrah Fawcett. The Call Me Crazy Show. The Call Me Crazy Show. The Call